Welcome. I'm here with Kyle. We are in the Fitzpatrick Wilderness. And Kyle, why don't you go over how you came about meeting me?
I've been coming into the winds for about 12 years. I like to look on YouTube videos in the Wind Rivers, and I saw a couple of Dave's videos. I decided just to see if I could find who he was, and I was able to chase him down and sent him a message. And Dave and I ended up talking, and we planned this trip together. I've been trying to catch a golden for 10 years or so, and hopefully I can do that on this trip.
We are so glad you're coming along with us. We've arrived at Phillips Lake. That is a wolf.
Holy cow.
That thing is big. Kyle's leading the way on a bushwhack, trying to find a place to camp next to Phillips Lake.
Hey, look, there's a good fire pit. Dry Creek's right over our shoulders, so we can get water.
See it.
Let's find a place to put our tent.
Looks like there might be something over here.
Looks like a good spot.
Okay, right there. We started here, hiked into the wilderness boundary. We stayed in the meadow on the left side of it and came up into the trees right here, climbed up over this saddle. Lots of snow through here. And then as we started down this side, the snow started to dissipate until about this point right here, then it just pretty well was gone. Continued our backpack hike down this way, down to Phillips Lake. We passed Phillips Lake and we hiked around the knoll and came back to where the water goes into Phillips Lake, and we are camped right there. And the hike was 5.3 miles, 1,500 feet of elevation gain, and our lake camp is at 9,500 feet above sea level. Working our way over to the fishing hole.
This is my first fish of the trip.
Gold crocodile. Little cut bow, beautiful little fish. Well, we fished for what, about an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
And you caught the biggest one.
Yeah, it was the biggest. It's not too much to brag about, but it was a nice fish.
It was beautiful. It was a cut bow. It was about 1.25 pounds.
Been a great day. It's sun's going down, and we're gonna go back to camp and cook Thanksgiving feast backpacker style. And then I'm also gonna bake some bread. I've got 3.5 ounces of canned chicken, and I'm gonna make a gravy with that. So these are potatoes and stuffing and craisins. Once it comes to a boil, we will rehydrate the potatoes and the stuffing. This will be the stuffing and the cranberries, craisins in this case. 8-ounce instant potatoes mix. Almost as good as the mashed potatoes I make at home on Sundays. Into the cozy they go. Woohoo! I can be quite gentle with the heat with this setup. I've got 2 gravy mixes. So I've added the chicken. So this will come to a boil. It'll thicken up. Dave, I hope you like it. It's so good you think football's playing in the other room. This bread mix has flour in it, salt, and yeast. So you want to use really good bags. Try to distribute that oil. And then I simply squeeze out the bread like that. I'm trying to flatten this out as much as I can so it cooks evenly. I'll flip this just like a pancake. Bread is done and cooked in probably 10 minutes. I'm going to give Dave this little piece with some strawberry jam that I also made at home. So taste that, Dave, and tell me what you think.
That's really, really good. Well, this is the end of our first day. What was your favorite part about the hike?
I don't like hiking in snow. Pretty distraught thinking the trip wouldn't be as much as what we had planned once we started into the snow. So my spirits lifted quite a bit once we came over that 10,200 feet peak and came into this valley. What was your favorite part of the day?
I was actually really happy being driven 20 miles into the Wind Rivers rather than having to hike it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today. Good night.
Good night. Well, good morning. This is the beginning of day 2.
Well, what is on the agenda today, Kyle?
I'm going to leave Phillips Lake and go up into the higher country.
got hair in it. Really looks like bear to me, because bear looks more human than a dog. We can put our tent right in this area here.
That'd be perfect.
Dawn Lake's just to the left here, maybe what, 100 yards?
Yep.
And the Wind River display is right over there. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful,
This
beautiful
is a
spot.
gorgeous place. What are your thoughts on today's hike?
I'm quite tired. It was a beautiful hike. Just a little bit of snow. By and large, no snow to hike through. We're finally here, so that makes me really happy.
We started here at Phillips Lake and bushwhacked up to the trail, came across the trail, and about right here we had a view of Native Lake, which was beautiful. And then right through here, there was in-stream ponds and meadows. This was just gorgeous. And we came up to Moose Lake, and about right here we had a great view of up here. Then we continued hiking to this junction, and we stayed to the right and came up the drainage here. And this was all just beautiful forest. And then we come about right here, we could get a very skimpy shot of Cub Lake. And we didn't follow this trail up around there. We came down here, crossed right here, and followed the creek up here to Don's Lake. We are camping right there, and it was a 5.8 mile hike, 1,650 feet of elevation gain, and we're camping at 10,500 feet above sea level. And we are here to fish in the wild. Kyle's caught 2. And this is his 3rd.
Woo! This is about 16 inches long. It's a beaut. You can get dehydrated pinto beans and they make up really good bean burritos. It's simply adding water, which we've just had at a boil, and they've been hydrated for about probably 15 minutes. Just some chili verde salsa that I brought up in a vacuum seal, some cheddar cheese that I also vacuum sealed, and it tastes similar to a Taco Bell bean and cheese burrito. Here we go. If this hiking gig doesn't work out, I'm gonna go to work at Taco Bell.
All right, first of all, let's get this out of the way. We are not brothers, but we are brothers from another mother.
Yes, we are.
Today was a glorious day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and we accomplished a goal of Kyle's. How long have you had this goal? Get up in this area.
Probably around 10 years. When I learned what golden trout were, it took me a long time to figure out what lakes they might be in. And then when I found out that they were up in these lakes, I've been trying to get up here for several years. So tomorrow I'm hoping that I can punch that ticket and catch my first golden.
Today's hike up, any highlight for you?
It's secluded. We haven't seen anybody all day. The waterfalls are gorgeous. One of the other highlights for me is I can't believe how well maintained the trail is up here. We're so remote, it's so difficult to get in here, but the trails are amazing.
My favorite part of the day was getting to the point where we could see this.
Yeah.
This is Wind Rivers to me.
Yeah.
The forest is beautiful, but this is why you come to the Wind Rivers.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
And the fishing.
And the fishing.
Well, that's all we have for today, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, good night.
Good night. Well, good morning. It's day 3.
And what's going to happen today, Kyle?
I'm going to put myself in a wonderful position to catch my first golden trout. Woo! I see it!
This is the in-stream pond below Lower Glacier. Okay, I need a sporting fish report.
We fished Golden Lake and we fished this lake, which is Lower Glacier, and I think we netted 2 bites, 1 bite each. I think that the next time I come to this area, either I'm going to learn how to cast much better than I can currently, or I'm going to bring in a ringer, somebody that's really good at fly fishing, so that they can show me the ropes out here on these good waters. In that very first spot where we started, I saw 3. And I saw 3 or 4. But I'm ready to hike back to camp, get back on Dawn Lake, and see if we can catch dinner and feel like a fisherman again.
"17 inches. Cutthroat. This is our fishing catch and cook. We got the trout, we got blackening, aluminum foil, and ghee. We put on the blackening, put on the ghee, and wrap it up. The fish is on the campfire. Time to turn it. Ooh. Time for it to come off.
Oh, looks amazing. Time to eat the fish. It is very tasty. It's really good with these potatoes. There's hardly any, I haven't had a bone yet. Some of the best fish I've had. Good job, Dave.
Thank you, Kyle. We caught 7 fish. We kept 2, 4 fillets for dinner.
They were delicious. Some of the best fish I've had.
That's one of my signature meals. It's kind of like your turkey dinner.
I'm disappointed that we didn't get into Goldens, but the beauty and the scenery, I can't complain. It's just such a pretty place.
Well, I have to say Golden Lake is beautiful, and it was thrilling to see those Goldens come up for my fly, and it was your lure, right?
My lure was coming in, I had one, it went like that. So it said, no, you don't qualify.
I actually had it bite my fly, but either I was too slow with the set, or it just didn't quite take it the right way.
And we saw lots of bear scat up there too.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen as much bear scat since I was in the Teton National Wilderness.
So there's a big bear crawling around these mountains. So
that's it.
Well, good night.
Good night. Good morning. It's a new day on our Shoshone National Forest fishing and backpacking trip. Got to be a good 16, 17 inches on a Yellowstone cutthroat, about 1.5 pounds. Beautiful fish.
Fish on. So here's a nice cutthroat. You can see the marks under his jaw, or hers. I can't tell sex on a fish. Some people can. And this was my second fish in 3 casts. So today's starting out to be a pretty good day.
Oh, I foul hooked him. Yellowstone cut, probably about 15, 16 inches, 1.25 pounds. Beautiful fish. Back from fishing, what was the count so far?
I think I caught 5, maybe 6.
And I caught 4, so a total of 9. All right, Kyle, let's get our breakfast. With breakfast out of the way, that frees us up to fish all day.
So we're gonna hit Dawn Lake hard, and we've had great luck here so far in just 2 spots. So I think when we hit the other spots, we're gonna catch some bigger fish. Close. Fish on. Woohoo! This is heavier. I hope I'm not in a snag. I don't think I'm in a snag. No, I can't be in a snag. So far, this is my best fish of the trip. I would say 16, 17 inches. I'm not very good at weights, but I'm guessing 1.5 pounds, maybe 2.
on a gold crocodile. Little red attractor. About 1.5 pounds, probably 16 inches.
Let's get some pixie dust going. This one fights at, what do they say, higher than its weight or whatever? It's a little fish, but it's feisty.
It's a gold cut hybrid. About 1.5 pounds.
I let it sink to a 20 count before I came in. Caught it on the gold large Jake's lure, gold with red dots.
Beautiful cut. The red under there. Beautiful.
I gotta check the calendar, it must be my birthday. That's a beaut. I think this is another cut. It's got that marking under the throat. Look how pretty and red that is. And it just took it right at the shoreline. I think this is a gold cut. And look at the underbelly. Look at how golden it is on the underbelly. Now you can see the under the jaw, you can see the red jawline. Okay, this might be as close as I get to catching a golden this trip.
Beautiful cut.
So these marks are usually indicative of a golden trout. Right on the side here is what I've seen before. It's definitely a cutthroat.
That's a pretty cut.
Head scene. Fouled him. Just cut that on a yellow cam looper. But I fouled it. But I was still able to land it. Wow.
Beautiful cut.
And a big one.
Look at the coloring under its gill.
The tug is the drug.
You're addicted.
Pretty fish. 18.
Ooh. Oh shit. Oh, I did break my bowl.
This feels hefty, but I never can tell. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Number 28 on the day. I have never had a streak of luck like this. Holy cow. They like that yellow cam looper since I lost all of my gold. Somebody pinched me. I've never been this lucky on one day. What a beautiful fish. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Number 35, it's a beauty. Personal best. The fish hit as soon as the lure hit the water. This is number 39, and we're gonna eat this one. That's why I've got my hands here.
And the pressure is here on the backbone. Can you feel the backbone?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back from fishing. We had a fantastic day.
Best day fishing I've ever had. 39 fish so far.
And I caught 9 so far.
So we're at
47.
Wow.
And we got some beauties.
Can't wait to try these. Now tell me how you're gonna fix these tonight.
I'm gonna puddle fry them, but
So-
I've never done gold cut.
It's gonna be delicious. This meat is just ruby red.
And we have our panko breadcrumbs with Zatarain seasoning in it. Cook them in ghee and olive oil. In goes the ghee and the jet boil. In goes the olive oil. Filet with panko and blackening on it. Turn down the heat real low on this oil. Look at that. What do you think?
Boy, that looks good.
It'll be the first for gold cut trout. Like anything that you deep fry, they float when they're done. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if it gets any better than this up here.
We've got puddle fried, golden cutthroat fish, potatoes with ghee, fry bread with strawberry jam. Wow. That's really good. The seasoning is good. Mmm. What a treat. Boneless trout. Wow. You can cook for me anytime.
My fishing pole broke. I've taken the tent pole splint and then I've used Gorilla Tape. That should get me through the day.
This is the last cast of the day. Fish on.
Oh, I just got one too. Last fish of Dawn Lake. Beautiful. I think this is a gold cut.
Oh, that's a beauty. So that was the last cast for both of us, and we landed fish at the same time. That hasn't happened. It's the first time it's happened on this trip. This fish is my 43rd fish of the day. Personal record. What a great day it's been. Now I'm ready to go have a fire and dream about not having bears eat me all night.
Well done, man. 43 and 10 for the day. 53. I said we were going to catch 50 fish today, and you made it happen. Well done.
But what a great way to end this part of the trip. Dawn's Lake was amazing. What a fun day. Good night.
Good night.
Well, good morning. It's day 5.
Well, we've got about a 4 to 5 mile hike today down to Native Lake. This is Cub Lake.
Yeah, this might be a good spot.
Oh, there's firing.
Got some benches around it too. That's nice.
Nice. Wow. What a spot for a tent. We're gonna make this our wilderness camp. This is Native Lake. Looking at Native Lake there. Grassy Lake.
The fifth day is coming to a close. Kyle, what did you think about our hike today?
Oh, it was a beautiful hike and plenty of waterfalls.
I couldn't believe how many there were.
There were a lot.
And they were gorgeous.
I didn't notice that many coming in, but coming out, I noticed them.
Yeah, I could hear them, but I was too tired to go over to them because we were climbing. What do you think of this camp that we're at?
I like this camp. I wish you didn't tell me there was bear scat right by our tent. I'll be thinking about that all night. When I'm in the Wind Rivers and I run into an outfitter's camp, I know it's been well thought out and it's really a prime spot to camp.
What'd you think of Native Lake?
I like how when the wind comes up, you can kind of see a sheen cross the lake. That's really cool. And then when we were there, you could see fish rise to the surface of the lakes. Just a beautiful, beautiful spot.
That's all we got for tonight?
Yeah.
All right, well, good night.
Good night.
Well, good morning. It's day 6.
It's time to go fishing.
Come on, baby. Look at the white under its fins right here. That's a beautiful fish.
Well, the fishing report. Fishing was great. Catching wasn't so good.
Yeah. Today we fished Native Lake. We caught one brookie. It was one of the prettiest fish we've had of the trip. Since the fishing wasn't super hot on Native, we thought we'd try grassy. That'd be better.
I got a strike by a cut, and I had another cut follow my lure in.
Yeah, and I had a fish follow my lure in.
I tried the river with the spinner. Got nothing. Okay, so you caught one at Phillips, and then you caught 4 the first day on Dawn. That's 5. Then 43 the next day. That's 48.
Yeah.
And then you caught this one.
49.
49. You almost caught 50 fish. All right, we're out here. That is all smoke from a fire. We're here at the outfitters camp, and they have 26 horses.
Yeah, something like that.
This one's a particularly beautiful one and quite friendly. Came to greet us, hollered out, just like that, and greeted us. This is Hayes Park Hunters Camp. Chow hall there. That's the guide tent. And those 2 are guest house.
And here's our hunter. Tell me your first name, where you're from.
Larry from Iowa.
Larry from Iowa. So it's bow season. How far was your shot, Larry?
My shot was 55 yards.
That's a good shot. They got 5 elk since we've been up in the mountains over the last 6 days. So they're hanging here on a bear pole to keep them out of the reach of bears.
Taking the hide off the elk. Elk ivories right there. Those 2 stubs. They're like tusks. Well, Kyle, this looks like a good spot. If somebody's put their tent already right there, that would work for us.
Yeah. That looks good.
And the fence down there, if you can see it, that's the demarcation of the Indian reservation. We'll make our camp here. This is our final full day, and we wanted just to give you a quick review of our trip and some of the highlights. Backpacking in, what was the highlight for you?
Lots of very pretty vistas. The lakes are close by one another, so that gives you some variety.
My highlight was coming up on Dawn Lake.
Yeah.
And when we could see the dome right above the lake. What was your highlight with regard to fishing?
My fishing highlight was fishing Don's Lake, and I went through a series where I caught 5 fish on 5 casts, which I've never done before. It's better than bowling 5 strikes in a row, and it's better than that.
I caught a 1 3/4 cutthroat. It's a Yellowstone cut. It's probably about 17, 18 inches long up at Don's Lake, and that was my highlight.
The low light for me was also Don's Lake. I released a fish and it went belly up, and I went to reach it as quickly as I could, and I was a little too anxious to reach it, and I fell in. So I figured I could walk back to camp and spend a half hour back to camp and then a half hour back out and all that energy, or I could just strip down and fish au naturel for a while. And I've never caught fish that way, but I caught 2 fish that way and let my clothes dry, and I was able to dry out quick enough.
It was quite the scene. I was seeing a moon. It was like noon.
And you told me you didn't film any of it.
I was tempted to put him on film and call him the Naked Fisherman. All right, so as far as scenery.
So my favorite was getting all the way to Lower Glacier at 10,600 feet in mid-September. I did not think we would get that high when we came through here a week ago.
Okay, well, my favorite scenery is Dawn Lake. That was like a 4K landscape extravaganza. I could film 3 different mountains with time lapse. The shot from the lake up to the mountains all around were just stunning. Kyle, what was your favorite camp?
The favorite camp on this trip was the camp at Don's Lake. There was like a little alcove of granite rock just to kind of tuck in our tent, and you could go very close to our camping spot and get water, and then you could go on the opposite side and fish. So that was just a really cool camp.
What I loved about it was I was like 5 steps from any beautiful scenery photography that I wanted. Well, we want to thank you for coming along with us. So, until next time.